Hello, everybody, and welcome to the diaries. Well, you know, life is funny. Last episode, I recall saying that I was not going to be teaching at Yavapai College for Kids this year, because the class spaces had all filled up and everything. This morning, this afternoon, I got a phone call from the new director of the College for Kids. And he said, you know, we really want you to teach this year. So, can you do it? And I said, well, let me think about it for 1/1000th of a second. Yes, I think I can. But now I got to let my boss at the bowling center know. Because I just recently told him last week, I told him, well, I wouldn't be doing it. And then this week I'm saying, well, I will be doing it, so... And there are messages coming in on my phone. So, what this means is I have to get back to working on the new props for the new project. And it looks like this year I won't be in the same room. Apparently, I am going to have access to the AV room. So that's kind of like, you know, where you want to be when you're doing film and video media. So, that is all of a sudden happening again. So, we're going to get back to working on that. Also, this episode, I've got some behind the scenes of the most recent shoot of Knights of the Lost Realm. I threw a little bit of a blooper reel on the beginning of the last video because I didn't have anything for the beginning, you know, before the credits roll. So I threw that on there, but I have a little bit of that. And there was something else happening this week. Oh, yeah, there's a bowling tournament this week for the juniors. Actually, it's next weekend. I might do that, might not. It depends. Because I've thrown those on there a couple of times. Yeah, and then some crafting stuff that I have to do for new film projects. That theoretically will get on here. We might be getting out this week to do something. I'm not sure. It's kind of like an idea that's been kicking around in the back of my head, so I'm not going to spill too much of it right now. But, yeah. So, with that in mind, boy, did you see all the thoughts in my head just kind of go, Plana, and fly away? Yeah. I know there's something else I was going to say, but I can't think of what it is, and being as old as I am, if I go searching for it, I'll probably just get lost, so we won't mess with that. So anyway, without any further ado, let's get going! Okay, you see this here, I had to tear open because the joint where it comes together, it's a rubber tube. It's a tube for a fountain, which I mentioned before. But the length was too long, so it was bending on its own. So when it stood up, this was slowly bending and it was getting caught. So what I had to do was I had to reduce the distance on that tube between the two parts. So now I have to rewrap this particular area. Here's my rewrapping paper, already crinkled up. I'm going to put I'm going to put a lot of little goodie guys in here. Little tabs I cut. Should see them up right there. Now I gotta hit this with the Mod Podge. Then I'll hit it with the paint. Then I'll wrap the greenery around it again. And it should be pretty clear. And I may have to do the same thing over here, because this one's dripping off to one side also.
Look, I know I'm the new guy here, but shouldn't you trying to figure out how to put out those torches?
We could, but you have glasses on.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Traitor!
Kill him.
Welcome to the table. Okay, roll film. It's okay if he's blocking Marty. You don't care. You can be blocked. You can block him. Your Cheez-Its are everywhere. You're going to get blocked. Here we go. Ready? Action.
Look, I know I'm the new guy here, but shouldn't we try?
No.
No. Not quite. I don't think we should try that.
Damn new guy. Doesn't even know his lines.
I agree. He's probably
Pinching the wave away.
Stop that.
Okay,
I was going to get on this earlier today, but I didn't. But I wanted to show that this still needs to be in place. It's taller when I set it up this way, but movement's better. Also, it doesn't lean backwards, so they're not kind of like this, like they were before. It's hard to tell from this close, but and somehow I always manage to grab the wrong two. It works. Now I need to do the same thing over here, because this one here is falling over also. And basically all it was, like I said earlier, all it was is the hose that separates the two pieces that bend. It was just, there was too much hose. So, you know, as it got warmer and it's sitting and so forth, it starts to bend over because there's so much hose there, there's so much flexibility. So by putting the pieces closer together, you lose that flexibility, and consequently the pieces don't fall over. Also reinforced with the paper and the Mod Podge here. So I'm going to do the same thing over here, and then put the trunk on, and this will be done and out of the way. Okay, what I have here is the old Weeblefester furry tentacle thing that is in a state of constant brokenage. Yeah, really, that's the word I used. Now, what I'm going to do is, you see, I don't need a broken Weeblefester thing. What I need is an unbroken limb for the plant, a big thick limb for the plant. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the fur off of this, papina time, and I'm going to repair it so it won't break again, theoretically. And then I'm going to do with this like what I was doing with the branch outside, which is wrap it in the paper and paint it and wrap the vines around it and so forth. But I think I may have to do this in pieces so it doesn't tear and rip and rend and rabble and ruby ribber like the other one was doing before I had to repair it. So this is something I can work on. This is something I can work on inside, because it's after 5 and it's getting dark outside, and I don't want to work on the porch when, well, the branch is sitting out there still and needs to be finished. But I want to get this thing started. I've got a month. Today is May 1, by the way. 3 days from my birthday. That's the day I become older than I am now. And I have a month to get all this together. So I have this, I have the plant head, and I have the rest of the branch that I have to finish. So let's see if we can at least get this thing. It's got the wobble flibbles here. See, it's wobbling flibbles. Let's see if I can get this thing started at least, if anything. Hey, have you ever used the expression, oh, before I forget? You know that expression, oh, before I forget, blah, 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 this is Bremen. Well, this is the problem with saying, before I forget. When you say that, it's because generally you've just remembered something that you needed to tell this person. So you've already forgotten, and you just remembered. So before I forget doesn't make sense because you already forgot. What you should be saying is, oh, after I remember, instead of before I forget. But it sounds silly when you say, oh, after I remember, blah, 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 blah. Because then they'll think, what, you got to wait for something that you got to remember. The English language is a very strange and unusual thing. And we have a tendency to say stuff that actually, in the logical aspect of life, doesn't make sense. Like, before I forget. Unless you have truly said it before you have forgotten. But I'm betting you probably didn't. You said it after you remembered. So, yeah, I don't even know why I brought that up. Alright, so what I have to do here is I have to carefully... Actually, I don't have to be careful. I can tear this thing to pieces if I want. But if I do, we are going to have the fur issue where it goes flying all over the room in a giant pile of papina. And we don't want that. So what I'm going to have to do is, this is glued with the old hot glue, and hot glue on material, yeah, it's pretty strong. So I got a corner started, and as you can see, I'm pretty much able to pull it off. Oh, I did put this foamy stuff in here in some places. Well, that's the way it goes. Foamy stuff. So theoretically, I should be able to pull this apart. I feel a zip tie there. There we go. And actually, you get a better idea of how this actually works, actually. He said using actually several times, actually. Okay, you see, there's a zip tie here which keeps this from opening too wide. And then this line goes through here and it goes around. Oh, I can see one of the reasons I've had so much trouble. The line is twisted. That's funny. So when the line is pulled, it'll close down, but when it only opens this far. It doesn't open further than that. Well, it's May the 4th, which is Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. I guess it's Star Wars Day for people with a lisp. May the 4th be with you. Anyway, it's also my birthday, which means I'm 1 year closer to death. But, by the same token, I'm also 1 year closer to collecting Social Security, which is a wonderful thing. If I hadn't been stupid in my youth and hopped from one job to another and got married to an idiot. If I hadn't done those things, I probably would have more money coming in from Social Security. But as it stands right now, if I had to collect my Social Security at 62, I cannot afford to live unless I'm working. Okay, you can do that. You can work and collect Social Security. I already looked into that. If I wait till I'm 67, collect full benefits, I will not be able to afford to live unless I'm working. So no matter how thin you slice it, I still am going to be working probably until the day I keel over. So odds are I'm going to start collecting at 62 because I could always use the extra income. And it would be a healthy little piece of extra income. Not enough to survive on, but definitely a good swift kick in the income. So we'll see what happens. That's a year from now. Exactly a year from now, as a matter of fact. So what am I doing on my birthday? Well, I'm doing all kinds of exciting birthday things. Like, I got up, had something to eat. Yeah. Well, what I'm going to do is we're going to finish the plant for the class. We're going to finish the limb, the clawing limb, which is almost done. I want to check the bottom part that I wrapped yesterday and see if it's, sturdy enough, or if I'm going to have to put another coat of hodgepodge, sorry, Mod Podge on it. And then I think we will probably do the other branch, which is the tentacle type branch. And then this weekend, well, this weekend's kind of a mess because I have a tournament for the juniors both on Saturday and Sunday. I'm definitely going to the one on Saturday. I don't know if I'm going to go to the one on Sunday. Odds are I'm going to stay home because I have got to get this stuff together for my classes, which is starting less than a month. So, 1 day less than a month, but it's still less than a month. So, we're going to get started. No, we're going to get back to going on those things right about now. Okay, well here's the plant. The limb, I guess. You know what? That's funny. It's a limb and it's a limb. As well as being a limb. And it's somewhat firm, but I think I'm going to Mod Podge it one more time to make it a little heavier and also to get rid of some of the shine. It's a little too shiny. And the Mod Podge that I have is matte, which should hopefully get rid of a little of that shine. And then I can move this, after I do that, I can move this where, I have no idea, and start the second part. Now I also have this plant over here that I acquired, and I don't know where to put it. And I got to get this jack and these jack stands somewhere other than on the Adventureland porch. Also have to fix this because this bowl is broken and it's going to stay broken forever. So, just a few things to do. As I probably stated earlier, the other day was my birthday. I became older, which is what happens on birthdays. And at one of my jobs, at one of the bowling centers I work at, they were very sweet and gave me a little birthday thing. I got a birthday card, and I got a case of Rice Krispie treats, because Lord knows I need that. But they also gave me cupcakes. Now these are store-bought cupcakes, which is fine. I loved them. And let me tell you something. But here's the thing.
It's Daddy's Weekly Gripe. Yeah. It's Daddy's Weekly Gripe. It's Daddy's Weekly Gripe.
There's a thing called a cupcake. It's a cake in a cup, and it's a cupcake. It's got a little frosting on it. This is what store-bought looks like. This is not a cupcake. This is a frosting. There's a cupcake in there, but it's 908,000 calories of sugar on top of this poor thing. Now, back in the day when I was a children, you used to, you'd make a cupcake and then you'd spread a little frosting on it, put some sprinkles on it maybe, and that was all well and good. This thing will get into my mustache and stay there for 6 months. And no matter how much I wash it and scrub it and comb it out, it'll be in there, because this is a frosting. This is a death cake. So for the people who make the cupcakes and, store-bought them, if I'm 9 years old, I'm going to fall in love with this baby. But that's too much frosting. It's not frosting. That is not a cupcake. I'm going to eat it anyway, but that's not the point. I got to take the frosting off. I got to get a shovel out of my storage unit to get the frosting down to a reasonable level, so when I bite into this, my blood sugar doesn't go plana right through the ceiling. Anyway, hi. Okay, right now it's not too bad. That'll wrap around somebody nicely. But, okay, watch this, ready? Hang on, ready? Yeah. So, I might just double up on the zip ties, or see if I have some stronger ones. What I did use originally is I used wire, and I used a kind of a heavier gauge wire. I put it through little holes there and twisted them and so forth, and that worked for a while, or that worked for a wire. But it didn't last very long, because the wire would either, it would sever right at the hole or it would unwind. So I think I may have to continue using the zip ties. Now, this prop is really old. I mean, this prop, I made this prop with the second incarnation of the Weeblefester. He has gone through 4 different designs. This one I made on the second design. No, he's gone through 3 or 4 designs. Anyway, this was right after the first Weeblefester got stolen with a car. Why anybody would steal a Weeblefester, I don't know. I'm sure he's in landfill somewhere. But I made this, so this thing is, little pieces still coming off. This thing is probably about 6 years old. So I really don't want to go through the whole process of making another one. I have recoated the outside many times, but let's see if we can't get this one to work for our purposes. Okay, I got the other plant that I've been working on for so long. It's finally finished and it is out of the way. So now you can see that you can see a little more because I don't have the big plant in the corner blocking the camera. So what I'm going to do is a lot of arm waving. You can see what I was doing. Anyway. I still have all this fluff on here and it's just going to have to stay there. What I want to have to do is do each one of these little pieces here individually. Okay? So I'll wrap this one, then I'll wrap this one, and so forth and so on. And then I'm going to put like a separate wrap around each of the joints. Oh, there's a hummingbird humming right nearby. So basically, these parts here will move inside of this other joint. So this can fold up like this, and it can straighten out. See, because what I was thinking is if I did the whole thing, if I just like do a main wrap around the whole thing, it's probably, well, it's not going to move very well. It'll only go so far. Even though it's paper and it's being, you know, it's being cured with the Mod Podge, it still can tear pretty darn easily. It's only going to go so far. This is only going to move so far. So I'm going to try doing it that way and see how that works. As you might be able to tell, I'm procrastinating building the big flower head because that's going to take a long time. It's going to be a lot of work. So let's start on this. That's for darn sure. So we will let this dry out here. It should take about 37 seconds. And then we will hit it with the first coat of paint and the second coat of paint and the final coat of stuff. And then wrap it, glue the wrap on, we should be good to go. It's certainly going to weigh more than it did before I started. Well, if you want to know what stupid looks like, look right here. That. No, not over there, over here, right here. You see, as you know, I work 75 different jobs. Well, the two main ones, it's 2 different bowling centers. Well, at one bowling center, we had some situations come up where my hours got cut down for 2 weeks, and they're coming back, but right now they were cut down for 2 weeks. And I've been pissing and moaning, oh my God, I don't have money, I'm not going to have money, blah, blah, blah. Well, my other job, it would appear that on one day I forgot to punch out. So consequently, I didn't get paid for that. So see, this is stupid, where you know that you're going to be tight on money for the month, and then you do something, you yourself go out and do something to make it worse. Fortunately, my boss at the other job, well, my boss at both jobs are pretty good people. My boss at the other job is cutting me a check right now so I can go out and get it. So I'm driving all the way out, and this is the one that's, you know, an hour and 45 minutes depending upon which day of the week you go and what time of the day. It should take me about 25 minutes to get there. So, yeah. So stupid. Stupid is as stupid does, and I did stupid, and that means I is stupid. At least I was on that particular instance. Okay, that was, yeah. So I'm going to go take care of that, and then we got to get back to the flower because Yellowfly College, you know, that's, what, 3 weeks? 3 weeks from now. Yeah. Well, that's going to be it, period, done for this episode because I need to get this episode out because it's been 3 weeks since the last one, almost 4 weeks, so that's too flong. That's too flong. I mean, it's been a flong time, but that was too flong. So, next episode, we're still working on the flower head. We're working on the flower head. And let's see, what other goodies? Well, I'm going to be starting the class pretty soon. Just found out that one of my classes is full up. I have 2 classes. They run One class runs Monday, Wednesday for 4 weeks. The other one runs Tuesday, Thursday for 4 weeks. The Monday, Wednesday one is full up, and the Tuesday, Thursday one has 4 spots left. So it's going to be a lot of kids, a lot more than I'm used to, because it's going to be 2 different classes, and 2 different classes with 2 different sets of kids, as far as I know. So, yeah, so got to get all this stuff finished for that. And that's in 2 weeks and 2 days, something like that, 2 weeks and 3 days. So, still got time, but yeah, that's stuff. And I'll probably take you out for 1 or 2 of the classes. That's usually the way we do it. And then we have a shoot coming up this weekend. And some other stuff. I can't even recall what it is. In any case, that'll be coming up on the next episode. In the meantime, you guys have yourselves a great week. End of line.